I will also give you a pocket affirmation to say whenever you see these numbers. I also offer a journaling prompt, and this is where I'm a little different from a lot of the other angel number videos or even numerology videos you see out there. I have a certain way of tracking and interpreting these numbers, and they are customized to you. So when I connect with my angels and my team, I always want to know, okay, generally, what does these numbers mean? But also, what does my team want me to know? Now, your spiritual team consists of your angels, your passed away loved ones, your spirit guides, your spirit animals. And in today's video, we will dive deep into the significance of 222. I'm going to share some stories with you about when I saw 222 or other sequences of 2. But just real quickly, in case you missed my introductory video to this series, which I do encourage you to go back to because there's unique information about that and it talks about some of the common numbers. And then I already have a video out on 1111 or 111. So this is the next in this series, 22, 222, or even 2222. But in case this is the first time these videos are finding you, let's talk just very briefly about what are angel numbers. As a quick reminder, angel numbers are special sequences that you might notice repeatedly throughout your daily life. These numbers are believed to be signs from our angels or the universe. I know they are because I have tracked it. I have kept it in a journal for many, many years. Now, the number 222 for many people is thought to signal a need for balance and alignment in your relationships, career, or spiritual path. But there's other meanings around that. And that's why I'm going to share my own personal meanings around these numbers and share with you how you can interpret what 22, 222, or even 2222 might mean for you. So let's talk a little bit more about 222. So like I said, many people consider the significance of 222 to be a gentle nudge from the universe, reminding you to take a breath. Would you like to take a breath with me right now? Take a breath and find peace in your current situation. That's one of the things that angels are always going to want us to do, is see where we can seek peace to find the creative solutions to anything that's going on. If you feel like things are chaotic, you're being asked to go find a quiet place for some self-discovery, breathe and ground. It's also associated with building trust and stability. So this could be really important when you apply it with other numbers. That is one of the things that is unique about the way I'm going to share angel numbers is I do mix and mingle numbers. So if I am seeing 422 or 1122, like you saw in my other video, I do break it down to 11. And when I see 411 or 711 or 511, the same goes for this number. If I see 422, that's going to mean something different to me than if I see 622. So I encourage you to begin tracking what these mean to you, because your team wants you to build trust and stability in your divine path and help you remain in divine flow by bringing these numbers in front of you. And another quick reminder about what are angel numbers, in case you're new here, is that you can find them anywhere. They can show up on receipts, they can show up on license plates, they can show up, of course, on the clock or calculators. I've also seen them in serial numbers on big machinery and things like that. So, wherever you see them, the questions you ask yourself is, why did I notice that? And what's going on for me right now? What am I feeling? What was I thinking about? All these kinds of things. And we'll go into more things you can do when you are seeing these repeated numbers. But across different cultural perspectives in different various cultures, 222 has been seen as a symbol of harmony and cooperation, especially having essential components for creating lasting relationships and community bonds. So a lot of times 222 is asking you to invest deeper in a bond with a relationship, with a community, with a project. And the angels always want to remind us to notice who is our spiritual community. If you don't feel like you're surrounded by people with like-minded beliefs, it's time for you to go deepen your investment in a spiritual community where you feel supported and you feel you belong. Now, that's a little bit more of my own interpretation of it, but I'm going to dive deeper into what those are. It's just so interesting how it it is similar to that. But I sit down with my angels and I ask my spiritual team, what do you want me to know about 22 or 222? And so I'll be sharing that with you. But also remember, you're developing your own language with your spiritual team, because that way they can send you messages that are very specific to you, that can guide you along your path. You know, I often get a lot of questions about, well, I see this number all the time, but then what do I do with it? Well, it takes going deeper into that experience. So we'll talk about how you can do that. But another thing that a lot of the overall people you'll see, if you Google it or you just talk to people, what do they think about when they see 222 is the viewer's experience. So they look to see what's going on around them, who else is involved. And that is definitely something that I support, is you want to also see who else is involved, because as I said earlier, they were even talking about the idea of community, and do you feel bonded to your spiritual community? Another quick reminder here, when we are seeing repeated numbers, anytime we are seeing repeated numbers, that is your spiritual team trying to guide you, and they're asking you to bring your spirituality into your day-to-day life. And a lot of times people will say, but I see 11:11 on the clock every day, twice a day. How can you tell me that's unique? Well, but think about all the things you do throughout your day, the busy schedules we have, the to-do list, and you just happen to look up and see that every time. There's something significant about that, because how come you're not seeing 10:10 every day? Now, maybe you are, and that is going to be a future video, but that's why I want you to notice what the number is and why is it that you always see that number. Now, for me, whenever I see 222 a lot, it is a little bit of a unique application to what's going on for you, for me, but I would say for you too, because it's not as common as 11:11 or 444 or 333, which I will be doing videos on those as well, so stay tuned. But that's why it's going to be important to take into account your environment. The other thing I want to ask you is, have you had any experiences with 222 that came to mind immediately as soon as you clicked on this video? I'm going to encourage you to write that down. If you'd like to share it in the comments below, but also write it in your journal. Now let's go into some of the meanings of 222 that the angels have shown me. And before we get there, I want to invite you to join my free newsletter at devindoer.com, where you will get my gift for you. It's my ebook, Is It a Sign? How to Recognize Signs and Discover Their Meanings. This will help you. There are 5 questions in there that you can ask anytime you see any numerical sequence, feathers from your angels, spirit animals, or other animals. You can ask these questions and you can discover a deeper meaning, what your team, what your angels are trying to tell you. So that's very valuable, and I do encourage you to keep this all in one place. I'll get a little bit more to why there, but let's go into what the angels said to me when I sat down and I asked, what is the meaning of these sequential 2s I am seeing? So first I asked them about the number 22, because as I said earlier, I do combine these meanings to get a deeper meaning to a message. So if I were to see 722, that would mean something different than just 22 to me. I wouldn't just hone in on the 22, I would add that 7 to it. And in numerology, they actually encourage you to net numbers, and I will do that on occasionally with my angel numbers if the angels ask me to do that. Sometimes they just want me to just get the message in the moment and move on. So the number 22, when I connected and said, what do you want me to know when I see this number? They said, you may need to go with the flow and let go of trying to control a situation. Allow your angels to guide you instead of trying to force an outcome. So think about that. One of my favorite pocket affirmations, this is kind of a bonus because I have a special pocket affirmation for you below for anytime you see 2 in a row, sequences of 2. But one of my all-time favorite ones, if you're new to my channel, you probably haven't heard me say it, but I say this all the time on my lives and my angel message videos, is I am in divine flow. So picture a flowing river of divine light that is guiding you on your journey. So anytime I see 22, I stop and I go, okay, so let's add that to what else I'm seeing, but maybe I am trying to control something and I need to just go with the flow. All right, so that was for 22. Let's take it to the topic of this video series, 222. So when I see 3 twos in a row, I immediately am asked to check to see if information, opportunities, or support is coming for me, and if I am being open-minded and trusting that everything is happening for a reason. So 222 can be one of those things that are causing you to take a deeper dive into why you are resisting something, or maybe you're not looking in the right place for information or opportunities. It can also mean that maybe you've recently received some information that was challenging to hear, or it was shared in a tactless way. And the angels want you to try to flip the script on that and go, okay, what's the silver line in this? What is something I can learn from this? And even go deeper and say, why is this happening? I know that everything happens for a reason. I know I'm being divinely guided, but what might I be missing here? So when you see 222, you can add those other messages that the angels shared earlier about what it could mean, but you can also say to yourself, okay, hold on, am I blocking information or opportunities because I don't want to hear it, or I didn't like the way that person said that to me? But trust that if you flip the script and try to see what can I learn from this, maybe even ask yourself, what can I learn about the other person's motivation if you received information in a challenging way? Even if it's the truth, when it comes in a way that's not the most compassionate way, it can be really hard to understand why you're being told this or why this is happening. A very common example I will get is when somebody loses a job suddenly and they felt like they were trucking along, doing fine, the boss was happy, and maybe all of a sudden the company decided to close down that branch. I've seen that with many clients of mine. And the person's going, well, what do I do now? And all of a sudden, this new opportunity comes in that they would have never considered, to either start their own practice or move to a new location, or just find more time to do the things they want to do and do more piecemeal work, which is a lot of things we're seeing these days. A lot of us are being encouraged to find ways to have time for both our, let's call it a day job, although I know not everybody has day jobs, but the thing that puts the food on the table that we all kind of have to do, whether we like it or not, and then the thing that we eventually would like to step out and do as a sole proprietor, do as a full-time business. Make sure you're making time for that as well. But the guidance will often be to wait until you're financially secure for that. So that could be another thing you're seeing with 222, is maybe you're ready to just quit your job, be done with it, and hope for the best with your new business. And maybe the angels are saying, actually, there's a better way to do this. What if you have clients for your new business at the current job you're at by getting to know the people you work with more and getting their ideas? What if you could go join a group of people and offer your services for free and start getting new contacts so that when you are ready to go out on your own, you are ready? That's one of the things I had to do when I was leaving my small business consulting practice. Again, if you're new to me, you may not know, I originally got my degree in accounting and business administration, which is so number oriented, right? But it was not on the spiritual side. It was on the logical side. And I did always enjoy working with numbers. I enjoyed math. And for whatever reason, I always seem to remember number sequences very easily. I can even remember a phone number from several phone numbers from when I was a kid, and my dad's office number, things like that. So I know that I was being guided by going into accounting. But when I finally got the call to leave my small business consulting service and go into full-time intuitive work and work with one-on-one clients, I was seeing 22 a lot as a way to remind me that there's going to be some disruption that has to happen in order for me to make that happen. That might mean holding on to some of my small business consulting clients a little longer than I had planned. And that is certainly what happened. I had to gradually let go of those businesses until I felt comfortable with the income coming in with my one-on-one readings. I also had to go to healing arts festivals and metaphysical fairs and offer services at less than what I normally would, or even do giveaways in order to build that community and start practicing and honing my skills. When I was getting my animal communication certification, which I don't offer those one-on-ones right now usually, but of course I use it with my own animals. But I did offer free animal communication sessions in exchange for emails to be put in a giveaway for angel readings. And that was a really fun thing. That was a mentor's idea. She said, why don't you just do a giveaway of one of your angel readings that you already do all the time? Then you can get a practice with a bunch of animal communication sessions and build your list. Well, that's the perfect example of a giving and receiving cycle. And that's often what we're going to see when we see 222 is activate that giving and receiving cycle, because that is where my very first clients came through. Actually, what happened is I was talking to a good friend of mine about how I was doing these free readings. And she came to me and she goes, well, I have somebody that would like to be your first paid client. What do you think about that? Well, I took on that very first paying client and she ended up sending me 90% of the clients I got in the following year. And I learned so much throughout that process about building a client base that was so unique to my small business consulting. And yet at the same time, it was very similar because you're still building in trust and faith and referrals, but I had to get out there and activate that giving and receiving cycle. So I wanted to share that story with you about 222, but of course you're going to apply this to your life, right? You're going to, whenever you see 22 or 222 or even 2222, then I would encourage you to apply it in these ways that I have coming up for you. Now, I did say at the very beginning, let's talk about 2222 in case you see it. That's when, again, you're going to apply the meaning of 22, but you're going to double down on it. You're going to ask that question twice. You're going to go deeper. In fact, if you've ever seen those models for getting to the bottom of things, they say ask a question, then ask another one about the answer you got, and then ask another one until you get all the way down to the bottom of an issue that you're feeling. And that's another thing you can do when you see 2222 is just keep asking yourself, why do I feel this way? Why am I blocking this? Why is this happening? Until you can get to the point where you have an understanding. Of course, we don't want to go into victim consciousness of why is this happening to me? We want to say, why is this happening for me so I can learn from it, right? I believe that's a really popular, either Esther Hicks or there's somebody out there, Abraham Hicks, that says that. Anyways, let's go on to this journaling prompt I promised you and your pocket affirmation. But don't forget, there is a bonus message for you at the end of this video. So please stay tuned to the end. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, like and share this video with anybody you feel it would resonate with. So here's your journaling prompt. Anytime you see sequences of twos, 22, 222, or 2222. Where in my life can I open up to new ideas or solutions? Where in my life can I open up to new ideas or solutions? Now, I want you to consider these three areas of your life. Your relationships. This could be romantic, parental, child, friend, boss. Your career and finance. That even if you're retired, your budget. And then health and fitness, all right? Those three areas we want to look at. Whenever you see sequences of twos, use this journaling prompt. Where in my life can I open up to new ideas or solutions? Now, the reason I want you to grab your journal and write that down is because I really want to encourage you to keep track of all the signs and symbols you get from your angels in your book of evidence, proof your angels are with you. Now, you don't need to have one of these. You can use any journal you want. I wanted to share that I have this for sale on Amazon with a 4-part webinar that teaches you how to use it. There's also a chapter in the beginning that teaches you with custom templates. But I wanted to show you that by keeping everything in one place, like I do in this intuition tracker here, it makes it really easy to go back and review it. And hindsight is one of the most powerful tools for building your trust and your connection with the angels and interpreting the meaning for you. So like I said, I understood what my team wanted me to know about 222 on top of the general broad meaning we see because I kept tracking it in my book of evidence. And then I went back and reviewed it over and over again. And I therefore was able to connect the dots and go, okay, when my team says this to me, this is what they want me to understand about this. And of course, I would go write it down with the time and the date. So you can use any journal you want. I just encourage you to keep it all in one place. Don't have a bunch of separate journals for to-do lists, for your dreams, for your gratitude, for your numbers, because you're not going to remember where you put everything. If you put your to-do list, your calendar, which I do have a calendar that's evergreen in this one, so you can start at any time in the year. But you don't have to use it for your scheduling. You can just use it to note things like this happened on this day and I saw 222 10 times and I had a to-do list that I was on a call with this person getting this done. That's how you connect the dots. And I do talk about that in my 4-part webinar that comes with this if you want to get it on Amazon. But again, you can use anything you want, and you can always come to my lives or ask questions in the bottom of this video, and I will definitely get to that. I read all of your comments, and I appreciate you so much. Let's get to your bonus message here. I did mention to you, right, that on my YouTube channel, I do have angel messages for you. I have tutorials on how to deepen your connection with the angels. I have story times about when I saw the angels. And then I do go live at least 2 times a week to connect with you, to share messages. Right now, my schedule changes every once in a while, but at this time I'm recording these messages, we do journaling with our angels. So on Wednesday mornings, I say journal with your angels and me. Grab that book of evidence. Let's do some journaling. I give you prompts, and it is really helpful. Oh, we didn't do your pocket affirmation. I knew I was forgetting something. All right, so here's your pocket affirmation. If you see 22, 222, or 2222, affirm, I am open to new possibilities. If you see 22, 222, or 2222, affirm, I am open to new possibilities. Ooh, my heart just opens up so much saying it out loud. And remember to take deep breaths with it. So write that in the comments below this video so I know you made it to the end for this bonus message I have for you. If you will write that in the comments below, I would really appreciate it. So here is your bonus message. Keep on your toes. Things are picking up pace. Stay grounded as you consider all your options. Remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.